All right, well, thank you, Rob, and thanks everyone for coming together. Most of the people are very good friends, along with my wife, that she's in Saudi. But I had to be in Greece for the TESOL Greece 30-night conference. So I'll do a little bit of marketing. Come next year, it's our 40th year. So lots of, interesting things are going to happen. We haven't set up the plenary speakers yet, but we're getting there. Introduction about me. I'm George. Hi. I'm from Greece and I live in Saudi Arabia. I work at Al Yamama University in Interlink, and I'm studying Lancaster for my PhD soon, hopefully. And I'm interested in technology. So what I decided to talk about today is about a phenomenon we have in, I don't know if it's all over the world or just the Middle East, that there's a little bit of overuse of technology, and you'll see what I mean with that. All right, so where I currently am in Saudi Arabia, and I think this is most of the institutions that are there, I mean the university ones that I know of, is that there is a lot of technology in the classroom. I mean, that goes to, projectors, interactive whiteboards here or there, tablets, mobile phones. Students have a lot of technology available to participate in a classroom that supports technology. Now, we'll see further on if that's good or bad, or if it's done effectively. Now, what technology does, according to research and according to what I've noticed over the years, that it does affect the pedagogy, it does affect how you do your class. Technology is incorporated in the class, especially in the EFL setting, I think, and in most disciplines that I've seen, because all professors, teachers, they all use the same classrooms. Now, the effect that I see, and I think this is what Randa was talking about before, is that it involves a lot of planning time. Now, why does it involve? Okay, yeah, I agree. As Randa said, that yeah, you can do it once. You can upload your vocabulary, for example. I use some tools, write and improve. Lots of people use, Moodle, YouTube, you name it, it's there. But it does take time, and it might take time once. Then, not everybody knows how to do this. So people need to spend time to be trained. And although it might sound simple, but it is difficult, and some people do have technophobia, and they're afraid that if they do something wrong, like the laptop will crash, this will happen, that will happen. And you'll also have to think of okay, you plan a lesson with lots of technology, and then you go, your laptop doesn't work, there's no internet, you don't have battery, students didn't bring the laptops, students didn't bring their, oh, they always bring their cell phones. So, but I mean, there are factors that comes to technology. Now, I wanted us to see today some perceptions, like what do students think of technology, and how do they have it on their on their mind. They are technology aficionados, and that's a Spanish word, I suppose, and they do like technology, but we need to see how do they use technology, and if they use technology for themselves, like for example, personal use, social media, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Viber, all of these things. And how do they, or if they use technology in learning? I mean, in a previous EFL talk we did with TESOL Greece and Belta, I talked about disruptive technology, and that technology that we use in class, and anything you can think of, like the laptops, the projectors, the phones, the iPads, the tablets, whatsoever, they were not invented for educational purposes. We all know that computers, or the first computers, were not invented or to be used in the classroom. Phones are for communication, tablets were for fun. So in a sense, technology in the classroom for students is something different. Like they're not used to using technology in the classroom. And it all varies also from what kind of setting they come from. So for example, yeah, I know that nowadays, or maybe a few years back, that some international schools or even some national schools, they use technology in the classroom. But is that the case for everybody? Do all the students have the same exposure to technology when they come to our class at the university? I mean, from what we see and from what I see to my, with my students in that institution, there's a lot of discrepancy. And then students may be able to use, 4 or 5 applications, but they don't know how to type. They don't know how to use a computer. They don't know how to send an email, which is like one of the basic, skills that you need to have in life nowadays, let alone being a student. Another view of that is imposed technology, which means that many times and in many institutions, technology is imposed. Lots of accreditation bodies, for example, require, or they'll give you a better grade, if you integrate technology, if you use smart boards, if you use, you incorporate technology more in the classroom. And that becomes, it has become a trend. Lots of institutions, universities, schools, you name it, they do use technology, and they also use it as an advantage. So, I would go to a school or to a university that uses more, technology, or that would be on their marketing brochures, or, they would market it as such that, we have lots of technology, we have computer labs, we incorporate technology. It should be like that, but it should be, be done a little better, I suppose, than done today. What can we do? How can we do things differently? I mean, there's lots of ways. I've just come up with a few ideas here. I do agree with all the previous speakers that talked about professional development, and that helps because, professional development means that you get lots of ideas. You get to differentiate your incorporation of technology. For example, you can make technology fun. You don't always have to, use it in a way that's intrusive to the students. You can make it fun. You can have, like Quizlet has a Quizlet Live, for example, function that, students get in groups of 4 or 5, and they're trying to find, meanings for words. You can make technology easy. Like, don't think or don't presuppose that students, just because they have, and especially where we are, the latest mobile phone, iPhone X or Samsung 9, or you name it, it doesn't mean that they know technology. They know how to use 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 apps, but that doesn't mean they can do other things as well. Like, don't have huge expectations of them, and don't, penalize them. Don't, tell them off when, they can't do that. Try to train them first, and then have expectations. Like, don't think that just because they come from a very, very, good high school, they know everything, or they should have exposure. They don't sometimes. I would say involve the students, see what they like, see what kind of technology they like. If they do like to bring their laptop, if they do like using their phone, I give my students a 5-minute break to check their phone during class, and it works very fine. And become part of technology. Like, don't try to show off if you know a lot of technology. I don't think that we'll ever catch up with the students, because students have, they're born with technology. We weren't, most of us, and that's okay. I mean, they can help us. They can show us how things work. Challenges: respect their information, respect the time, when things are sent, respect after school, and don't overdo it. And what's going to happen in the future? Nobody knows. More technology for sure will come into play, because we see, like, in countries in the US or even in the UAE, that lots of technology is coming in there, and you have artificial intelligence, virtual learning environments, like, you can see the picture there in the back. And I think our role is going to be more like we are facilitators more than what we do now, and that's going to happen either in class, or that's going to be online, which is expanding in many countries like China and the US, Mexico, all of there's many opportunities for people to have classes online rather than a regular classroom. And that's my 10 minutes.